네, 4월 27일이네요. 오늘은 처음이지만은 포드캐스트로 듣는 한국 뉴스라는 코리티츠라는 채널에서 하는 것을 한번 들어보고 계속 할 수 있을지 한번 내용을 보겠습니다.
A new record. How the chip boom is changing career choices in Korea. A big legal development for HYBE's chairman. Korea's escalated etiquette debate. A massive data leak from a marriage agency. A former MLB player returning to Korean baseball. A trade dispute between Korea and the US politician over Kuba. An Australian pitcher making wave in KBO and the search engine. A lot more than you can expect. Before we start, you can find the newspaper PDF in the comment down below. Let's get started. In our first story, we will use this vocabulary. Seize. Seize is the verb. It means take something by force, especially suddenly. An example, the police seized the stolen goods from a warehouse. Escalation is noun. It means an increase in the seriousness or intensity of a conflict. For example, both sides want that further escalation could lead to full-scale war. Ceasefire, I'm sure you've heard is a lot. Noun is an agreement between two sides in a conflict to stop fighting for a period of time. For example, a ceasefire was declared to allow aid workers to reach the affected area. We've been following the Iran war since around the edition 30. This week brought a confusing mix of signals. On the one hand, President Trump extended the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. On the other hand, Iran fired 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz and seized 2 of them, bringing them back to Iranian ports. The ships were not American or Israel, which the White House said meant the seizure did not violate ceasefire terms. Iran's speaker said reopening the Strait is impossible, while the U.S. blockade of Iranian port continues. Iran's foreign minister said it was not decided whether to return to negotiations, accusing the U.S. of a lack of good faith, which means they have bad intentions. The U.S. has now turned back 31 vessels since the blockade began on April 30. Oil price remains above $100 a barrel. The EU Energy Commissioner warned that destruction is costing Europe around €500 million every single day. With no diplomatic breakthrough inside, the situation remains deeply uncertain. In our second story for today, in Korea, we are going to use the common word on the segment benchmark. It is standard used to measure or compare performance, especially in financial market, but it can be used in education. For example, the KOSPI is South Korea's benchmark stock market index. Surge is a bull. It means to increase suddenly and stormy. For example, sales surged after the company launched its new product line. A new word. Number 3. Intraday. This adjective is a little bit rare. It means occurring on a single trading day and a trade day. The stock hit an intraday high, pulling back the closing of trading. Seoul stocks hit a new record. The KOSPI briefly topping 6,500 for the first time ever during intraday trading on Thursday. The index closed at 6,475.81, up 0.9% on the day, and extending its record-breaking run to 3 consecutive sessions, so 3 in a row. The driving force was blockbuster earnings from Korea's 2 chip giants, SK Hynix reported first quarter operating profit of 37.61 trillion won, a surge of more than 400% from a year earlier, and a new company record. This followed Samsung Electronics' record quarterly profit of 57 trillion won, reported earlier this month. Together, the two companies are benefiting enormously from the global boom in AI-driven demand for memory chips. Korea's GDP also grew 1.7% in the first quarter, adding to the positive mood. HSBC upgraded its view on Korean stocks from underweight to neutral, noting that Korean company earnings could triple this year. Our next story is a continuation of the previous story. This one is about the effect of superconductors on careers. Number one, compensation. This is a noun. Comes from the verb to compensate. It means money paid to someone for their work or for loss that they have suffered. For example, the company offered generous compensation to attract top engineer. Supercycle is a noun. It's an unusual long and strong period of growth in an industrial or economy. For example, the semiconductor supercycle has created thousands of new jobs across Asia. The next one is opportunity cost. It's a noun. It means the value of the next best option you give up when making a choice. For example, the opportunity cost of staying in school was the salary he could have earned by working. The semiconductor boom is not just making companies richer, it is reshaping how young Koreans think about their career, their education, and their future. Samsung Electronics posted 57.2 trillion won in first quarter operating profit, nearly tripling its previous record. SK Hynix is projecting roughly 38 trillion won, up over 400% from a year ago. We talked about this just now. The reward of flowing directly to the worker. However, Samsung Semiconductor employees received bonuses of 50% of salary for 2025. SK Hynix, which removed its bonus cap entirely last year, and paid an average of 140 million won per month. SK Hynix hit its forecast for this year. Bonus paid early 2027 could approach the 700 million won per person. The effect of a career thinking is significant. Sales of Blackbook, Samsung hiring them rose 40% in the first quarter. A guide by SK Group's equivalent test topped the ES20 EVO bestseller list. Private training courses for factory jobs at Chi Company now have a waiting list of 12,000 people or a key employee in his rate. He considered hiding his university degree because SK Hynix production line opening are restricted to high school graduate. Even graduate students are questioning whether to finish their degree. One master candidate semiconductor research said the opportunity cost of staying in keeps rising, and companies hiring aggressively, and the cycle is high. The shift has reached the university admission to Samsung and SK Hynix affiliated semiconductor program now have a competition rate of 7.16 to 1. Being the National Medical School average is 6 to 1. A professor at Korea University said supercycle could be the catalyst turns a country obsessed with medical school into one obsessed with engineering. Alright, staying here in Korea, but moving into the entertainment industry. We are going to talk about HYBE. Our first word for today is Valorant.
this is
It
now.
means an
It means an
official
official
document that
document
gives
give
police the legal right to arrest
arrest
someone
someone
or
or
search a
search a
place
place.
or a vehicle. An
An
example, police
example,
obtained
police
a warrant
obtained a
to
warrant to
search the
search the
suspect's home,
suspect's home,
search the person
search
who
the
they
person
think
who they
did the
think did
crime's
the
home.
crime's home.
Fraudulent
Fraudulent is an
It means
adjective. It means involving
deception
deception or dishonesty,
especially for financial
especially for
gain.
financial gain.
For
For
example, the
example,
company
the
was
company was
investigated
investigated
for
for
fraudulent accounting
accounting
practices.
practice.
IPO, this is a noun, an acronym. It stands for
the
Initial
public
Offering.
offering.
It means
That means
when a
when
company
a company
sells shares to the public
to the public for the first time.
For example,
For
the tech
example, the tech
raised
startup
billions
raised
of
billions
dollars
of
through
dollars
its
through IPO
IPO
last year.
Police in
Police in
Seoul
Seoul
have
have
sought
an arrest warrant
Bang
for Hype Charles Bang Shil,
the
the
founder
of the entertainment company behind the BTS.
The Seoul
The Seoul Metropolitan
Police
Police Agency's Financial Crime Unit
said it has booked
it has booked
on
on suspicion of fraudulent and unfair trading
related to
Hive's 2019 IPO process. Authorities says Bang allegedly secured illicit gain of about 109 billion won, equivalent to around $1 US
during
during the process of listing high
on the
on the stock market.
Bang's
Bang's
legal team
expressed
saying the
regret
client had cooperated with the investigation throughout.
throughout.
Police
Police
said
said
that the investigation was essentially complete just a day before
seeking the warrant.
So we'll have an
update on that later, most likely.
The next
The next one is a little bit
of
more of a debate
than
than
it is
new.
Let's
Let's look at this
set of vocabulary. The first is etiquette, which is a noun.
which is
It
noun.
means
It means the set of rules or correct or polite behavior in a particular situation.
For example,
For example,
business
etiquette in Korea includes bowing for someone for first time, presenting your business card in a specific
business card in a specific way by using two fingers, etc. Ingrained is an adjective, deeply established and very difficult to change. For example, the habit of removing shoes before entering a home is deeply ingrained in Korean culture. Negligence is a noun. It means failure to take proper care, resulting in damage or injury. For example, the accident was caused by negligence on the part of the construction company. If you have ever used the Seoul subway, sure you have, you know the rule. Stand on the right, walk on the left. But Korea's government wants to change that, and it is not the first time they've tried. The Ministry of Interior and Safety is preparing a nationwide campaign to encourage people to stand on both sides of the escalator. The reason is safety. Data from the Korean Elevator Safety Agency shows 135 serious escalator accidents over the past decade, with nearly 78% of those being falls. Elderly users are the most common victims, and many accidents happen when people try to step aside to let others pass. There is also a mechanical reason. Studies show when people consistently stand on one side, the right side wears out faster than the left. The right side chain showed more than 95% higher wear. They're more broken, more torn down. Shortening maintenance cycle by 20%. But changing this behavior will not be easy. The stand right, walk left rule became deeply ingrained during the 2002 World Cup, when the government promoted it as a proper public conduct. A campaign to change it in 2007 failed completely and was dropped by 2015. Now the government is trying again, this time focusing on public education rather than strict rules. Many
Many
commuters are not
communities
convinced.
are not convinced.
Everyone stands on
Every
both
stand
sides.
on both
It could
sides.
slow
It could
things
slow
down and
things
make
down
people miss
and make,
trains, said one office
said
worker.
one officer.
The
The
government
government
admits
admits
changing a deeply ingrained habit will take time and
patience.
Let me know what you
Let
think.
me know what you
Comments
think
below.
in the comments.
Should we
Should we change it to stand
by two
by
on
two on the escalator or
stand
stand
right
on
or
right
left?
or
I'm very
left?
interested to
I'm
find
very
out what you
interested
guys
to
think.
find out new.
Our next story
Our next
is
story
also
is
here in
also
Korea,
here in
but
Korea
about
about marriage.
The first
The
word
first word
we'll
we'll use is
breach.
breach.
It is a
It
noun.
is
It's an
now
instance of breaking a law or agreement in data security, unauthorized access to public information. Another way to think of it is,
you know, when you see a whale come up out of the water, it's also called a breach.
It's when it
It
breaks
breaks
through
through into the air.
So a data
So
breach
data
would be
breach
breaking
would
through
be
into the
breaking
data.
through the
Makes sense? Malware is a noun. It's software designed to damage or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Mal means bad, and where means like software. For example, the company's systems were comprised of an employee accidentally downloaded malware. Compromised.
Compromise after an employee downloaded malware.
Retention noun is the practice of keeping something, especially data or records, for a period of time. For example, the company's data retention policy requires all records to be deleted after 3 years. South Korea's Personal Information Protection Commission revealed this week that a hacker stole the personal data of 427,464 members of DUO, one of Korea's largest marriage brokerages. The breach happened in January last year when malware injected an employee's local computer, giving the hacker access to DUO's mail database. The information stolen was extensive, meaning there was a lot of it. It included names, dates of birth, phone number, addresses, height, weight, blood type, religion, hobbies, marital history, details about siblings, school record, and other workplace information. Because DUO is a marriage agent, it holds far more personal detail about its member than typical company. Of course, it makes sense. The investigation found several serious security failures. DUO did not limit the login attempt on its database, used out encryption method for password and residential credit number as well. It had also kept 298,566 member records past their retention deadline of 5 years. After discovering the breach, DUO waited more than 72 hours to report it, which is a violation of Korean law. The company was fined 1.19 billion won in order to notify all affected members immediately. If you're enjoying this podcast so far, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm know that what we're doing is worth watching. Also, drop me a comment below. Tell me how it is. Giving you a like to read that. All right, let's move on to the story. This one about baseball. We'll use vocabulary. Discharge is a verb. It means to officially release someone from a duty or obligation, especially military service. He was discharged from the army after completing his required service.
자, 다음 쉐도잉은 제목은 Lazy make you rich. Lazy thinking can make you rich가 되겠습니다. 45분 정도 분량이네요.
Hi everyone, welcome to English Achieve. Today's video is going to challenge something you have believed your whole life, and it might completely shift the way you think about success. What if I told you the people everyone labels as lazy are sometimes the ones quietly building the strongest, smartest, and most successful lives. Sounds unbelievable, right? Because from childhood, you were trained to believe one thing, work harder than everyone else, wake up earlier, stay busy, push more, never stop. But here is a truth that most people discover too late. Being busy is not the same as being successful. And sometimes, the person who looks lazy is not avoiding life. They are studying it. They are removing unnecessary effort, avoiding wasted energy, and choosing a smarter path while others are stuck in constant struggle. Today's video will reveal something powerful. How lazy thinking is not weakness, but a hidden strategy that can help you earn more freedom, more clarity, and a life that feels easier, calmer, and more in control. Not just richer in money, but richer in time and peace. Secret 1. Lazy people hate wasting energy. A lazy person has one powerful habit that most people misunderstand. They hate wasting energy. Not because they are weak, not because they don't care, but because they understand something deeper about life. Energy is limited. Time is limited. Focus is limited. And if you keep spending all of it on things that matter, you will have nothing left for the things that truly change your life. While others are constantly busy, running from one task to another, stressing over small things, trying to do 10 things at once, a lazy thinker steps back and asks one simple but life-changing question. Is there an easier way? This question may look small, but it has built the modern world. It is the question behind innovation, behind efficiency, behind progress. Think about it. Why was the remote control created? Because someone didn't want to stand up again and again just to change the channel. Why do washing machines exist? Because someone got tired of repeating the same physical work every day. Why do we use apps, shortcuts, automation tools? Because someone decided that their life should not be spent doing the same boring task again and again. This is not laziness in a negative way. This is intelligent laziness. It is the ability to recognize that not all effort is valuable and not all work deserves your time. Lazy thinking does not mean avoiding work. That is where most people get it wrong. It means avoiding useless work. The kind of work that keeps you busy but does not move forward. There is a big difference between being busy and being productive. A person can spend the whole day doing small tasks, replying to messages, checking notifications, worrying about unimportant things, and still achieve nothing meaningful. But a lazy thinker refuses to live like that. They don't want to feel tired at the end of the day, no feeling. So they become selective. They start questioning everything. Is this necessary? Does this really matter? Can this be done faster? Can this be done smarter? And slowly, this way of thinking changes everything. Because once you start asking better questions, you start getting better answers. You stop acting without thinking. You stop following the crowd blindly. You begin to design your life instead of reacting to it. When you train your mind like this, something powerful happens. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. And this is how real growth begins. Because most people are not failing due to lack of effort. They are failing because their effort is scattered. They are putting energy into the wrong places. They are trying to do everything instead of focusing on the right thing. But when you remove unnecessary effort, your energy becomes stronger. Your focus becomes sharper. Your actions become more effective. You don't feel exhausted all the time. You don't feel overwhelmed. Instead, you feel clear. You feel in control. And that clarity allows you to focus on what truly creates results. The few actions that actually move your life forward. That's how smart people move quietly, without noise, without showing off. They don't run faster than everyone else. They simply run in the right direction with less wasted energy. While others are busy proving how hard they work, they are busy making sure their work actually works.
And over
And over
time,
time,
this difference becomes
huge.
One
One
person
person
stays
stays
tired,
tired,
stuck,
stuck,
and
and
frustrated.
frustrated.
The other moves
The other
forward with
moves forward
calmness,
with calmness,
with
with a
strategy,
strategy, with a
with purpose.
purpose.
So the next
So
time
the
you feel
next
the
time you
pressure to
feel
stay
the
busy all the
pressure to
time,
stay
remember
busy all the
this.
remember
You don't
this.
need to
You
do
don't need
more.
to do
You
more.
need to do what
You need to
matters.
do what matters.
Learn to
Learn to
protect your
protect
energy.
your energy.
Learn to question your effort.
Question
Learn
your
to choose
learn to
wisely.
choose wisely.
Because success
The
is not about
success is
how
not
much you
about
do.
how much
It's
you
about how
do.
much of
It's
what you
about
do
how much
actually
what
counts.
you do actually count.
Secret 2. Lazy people
Lazy
think
people
before they
think
act.
before they act.
Most people believe
Most
that
people
fast
believe
action is
past
the key
action
to
is key
success.
to success.
They feel that
They
if they
feel that
move
if
quickly,
they
start
move quickly,
immediately,
start
and stay
immediately, and stay
constantly busy,
constant
they
busy,
will get
they
ahead.
will get ahead.
So they jump
So
into
they jump
action
in
without
without
thinking
thinking
deeply.
deeply.
They start
They
projects
start
without clear
project
direction,
without clear
make
direction,
decisions
make a
without
decision
understanding the
without under
consequences, and rush
consequences,
through
rush
tasks
through
just to feel
tasks just to
productive.
feel
On the
productive or
surface,
unsolved.
it looks like progress. They are
They are
moving,
moving,
doing,
doing,
reacting.
reacting.
But in
But in the
reality,
reality,
they are
they are
often
often
moving in
moving
the wrong direction.
in the wrong
They
direction.
feel busy,
They feel busy,
but they are
but
not
they are not
effective.
effective.
They spend
They
hours
spend
working,
hours working,
yet they still end
they
up
still end up
confused,
confused,
tired,
tired,
and
and
sometimes
sometimes
forced to start
forced
all
to
over
start
again.
over.
This is the
This is
hidden
the
trap
hidden
of blind
trouble
action.
of blind
It
action.
creates
It
movement,
creates
but
movement,
not
but
meaningful
not
results.
meaningful result.
A lazy
A lazy
thinker,
thinker,
however, approaches
however,
life in a
approaches
completely
life
different
in a
way.
completely different way.
Instead of rushing,
Instead
they
of rushing,
pause.
they pause.
Instead of
Instead of
reacting, they
reacting, they
reflect.
reflect.
Instead of doing more,
Doing more,
they
they
think
think
more.
more.
At
At
first, this
first,
can look like
this can look
inaction to
like
others.
inaction to others.
People may assume they
People
are
may
slow
assume
or
they are slow
unmotivated.
and
But what
unmotivated.
is really
But
happening
what
is
is
much
really
more
happening
powerful.
is much more
They are
powerful.
analyzing
They
the
analyze
situation
situation
before
before
investing their
investing
time
their
and
time
energy.
and energy.
They ask
They ask
themselves important
themselves important
questions.
question:
What
what
is
is
the
the
best
best
way
way
to
to
do
do
this?
this?
What could go
What could
wrong?
you do?
Is there a
Is
smart
there a
path?
smart path?
This
This
moment of
moment of pause
pause is
is
not
not
weakness.
weakness.
It is
It is
control.
control.
It is
It
the
is the
ability to
ability to
step
step
back and
back
see the
and
bigger
see the bigger
picture instead
picture
of
instead
getting
of
lost
getting
in
lost in
unnecessary
unnecessary
effort.
effort.
The
The
reason
reason
lazy
why
thinkers value
thinkers
this
value
process
this
is simple.
process is simple.
They don't
They
want to
don't
do
want to
something
do
twice.
something twice.
They don't want to
They
waste time
don't want
fixing
to waste
mistakes
the
that could
time
have been
fixing.
avoided with a little more thinking in the beginning. They
They
understand that
understand
every
that
rushed
every rush
decision often
decision
creates
often
extra
creates
work
extra
later.
workload.
So instead
So
of rushing
instead of
into
rushing
action and
into
dealing with
action,
problems
dealing with the
afterward,
problem
they
after,
choose to slow
choose
down at the
slow
start
down at
and
the
reduce
start,
problems
reduce
before they
problems
even
before they
happen.
even happen.
This
This
saves them
saves their
time,
time,
energy, and
energy, and
frustration in the long
frustration
run.
in the long run.
While others are
While others
constantly
are
correcting
constantly collecting
errors,
errors,
restarting
restarting
tasks, and
tasks,
feeling
and feeling
overwhelmed,
overwhelmed.
the lazy
The
thinker
less
moves
thinker
forward
move
with
forward
clarity
with
and purpose.
clarity and purpose.
Because of this
Because of this
mindset,
mindset,
they spend
they
more
spend
time
more time
planning and
planning
less
and
time
less time
struggling.
to
Their
their
actions may
action
appear
may
slower
appear
at the
slowly
beginning,
at the
but
beginning,
they are
but
more
they are more
precise, they are
precise,
more
they are more
intentional,
intentional,
and
and most
importantly,
important,
they are more
they are more
effective.
effective.
When they
When they
finally take
finally
action,
take action,
they
they
are
are
not
not
guessing,
guessing,
they are
they are
executing a
executing
clear
a clear
plan.
plan.
This is
This
why their
is why their
results often come faster,
faster,
even though
even
they
though they
started
start
slower.
slow.
It is not
It is
about
not
speed at
about
the beginning,
speed at the
it
beginning,
is about
it is
direction.
about direction.
If your direction is wrong, no
No
amount of
amount of
speed will help
speed
you.
will help you.
But if your
But
direction
if
is
your
clear,
direction is clear,
even
even
small
small
steps can lead
step
to
can
big
lead to big
results.
results.
And here's
And
the
here's
powerful
the
truth
powerful
that most
truth
people
that most
ignore.
people ignore.
One
One
smart move
smart
can
move
replace
can
100
replace
hard
100
moves.
hard moves.
A
A
single,
single
well-thought
well-thought
decision can
decision can
save
save
weeks,
weeks, months,
months, or
and
even
even
years of
years of
unnecessary
unnecessary
effort.
effort.
It can
It
eliminate
can
confusion,
eliminate confusion,
reduce
reduce
stress,
stress,
and
and
bring you
bring you
closer to
close
your
to your
goal with less
goal with
struggle.
less struggle.
While others
While
are running
others
in
are
circles,
running in
busy
circles,
but
busy,
lost, the
the
lazy
late
thinker
thinker
walks
walks
straight toward the
slowly.
result. They are
They are
not
not
distracted by
distracted by
noise,
noise,
pressure, or the need to look busy. They care about
They care about
outcomes,
outcome,
not
not
appearances.
appearance.
This way of
This way
thinking is
of
not about
thinking is
avoiding
not
work.
about avoiding
It
it.
is about
It is
respecting your
about
time and
respecting your
energy.
time and
It
energy.
is about
It is about
understanding that effort
understanding that
alone
effort
is not
alone
enough.
is not enough.
Effort must
Effort
be
must
guided
be
by
guided
thought.
by thought.
So
So
instead of
instead of
rushing into
into everything. Learn to pause.
Give yourself time to think, to
To
analyze, to understand.
Because in a
Because
world
in
where
a
everyone is
world
moving fast
every
without
move
direction,
fast without
the
direction,
person who thinks
person who
clearly
thinks
will always
clearly
have the
will always have
advantage.
advantage.
This is not laziness.
This is
This is
intelligence in its
intelligence
purest
in its
form.
purest form.
Secret 3.
Secret 3.
Lazy
Lazy
people build
people build a
systems, not
system,
effort.
not effort.
Most
Most
people
people
are
are taught
taught
to
to
believe
believe
that
that success
success
comes
comes
from
from
working
working
harder
harder
than
and
everyone
longer than
else.
everyone else.
They measure their
They
value
measure
by
their
how many
value by
hours they put
how
in,
many hours
how
put in,
tired they
how
feel at
tired
the end
they
of the
feel at
day,
the
and
end
how
of the
busy their
day, how
schedule
busy.
looks.
A hard worker often says, I'll work 10 hours every day, believing that more effort automatically means more result. But there is a hidden problem in effort alone does not guarantee progress. You can work long hours and still feel stuck. You can stay busy every day and still not move forward in a meaningful way. Effort without structure often leads to exhaustion, not freedom. Only thinkers see it differently.